Well, you have certainly risen through the rank. Good for you.
Good day, Sarah.
I do hope the Viscount remembers to eat supper today.
Fine day, Sarah.
We'll need to give them answers by tomorrow, Captain.
I'll have them. Dismissed.
The Seneschal was particularly vocal.
Dismissed. You'd think the Captain of the Guard could requisition a Templar or two, but no, that would be demeaning. Can't have them working for the people when eternity needs a nanny.
That's why I remain unimportant. Less pressure.
As if the return of the Amels hasn't set Hightown on its ear.
As long as it's off its ass.
Sure, have your fun. But the coin you poured into Kirkwall tipped what balance there was.
I didn't realize I was making it worse by getting ahead.
I'm just harassing you. Although you are a bit like the center of a hurricane. You've changed fortunes for many people, not always for the better.
Sounds like you're spreading yourself pretty thin.
There are a lot of people in my charge. Someone has to look out for them.
You guard the guardsmen?
I don't turn people loose like Jevon. There's additional training, doubled patrols. Costs are up, but I've halved injuries. I'll take it and argue with Seneschal Bran later.
After the last captain, you couldn't have expected this to be easy.
At least I had the guards on my side. Once they understood, they rallied. And those who didn't weren't fit to hold the crest. Stack friends against the enemies. I don't know if I came out ahead, but it's for the better.
Grouse all you want, but the Aveline I know doesn't regret a second as captain.
They'd have to drag me out of here. And I'm sure some are lining up to try. You among them, I bet. Haven't had much time to follow you around. Not that I need to. I can trust that you at least try to do right. I'm with you if you need me, Hawk. Just say the...
I don't think I can do that.
Fine day, Sarah. Hope the day's treating you well, Sarah.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
We can't all be short and bearded like your people, Bodan.
Indeed. It's quite a shame, really. I came to deliver this to you. The last of the proceeds from all that treasure you found in the deep roads. It seems your friend Varric found a buyer after all, yes? Quite well done.
So you raced here just to give me this?
Oh, I didn't want to be responsible for so much coin. Just holding that purse was making me sweat. Before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home. I said I would repay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully. It is good to know he is safe.
I didn't ask you to be my manservant, Bodan.
But I owe you a debt, and after what happened in the deep roads, I have no other way to repay you. I'll leave you to your adventures. Your mother asks that you return to the mansion when you have a chance.
Good day.
You! This is your fault. You and that blighter, Varric Tethras. You'll be the end of my boys.
I don't even know who you are.
Yevon, member in good standing of the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Not that it really matters to people like you.
You'll have to be more specific. A lot of things are my fault.
My sons are lost in the deep roads because of stories about you. Your sodding glory and treasure.
Don't you dare blame him. We both know this was Iwan's doing.
If you want to keep your job, shut your mouth, woman.
Your boys are grown men. It was their own decision.
What exactly were they trying to do?
It may be my fault, Monsieur. I've told them all the stories about you.
You're the only one who knows where they went. They were following the path of your expedition. Please help me find them. Don't let my boys die down there.
Your sons made an expedition into the deep roads. Did anyone go with them?
They went alone, the fools. Just my 3 boys against every darkspawn in the deep roads.
Iwan is Yevon's middle son. The whole thing was his idea. Emrys and Merrin were just following his lead. The greedy bastard didn't want to hire anyone else if it meant he had to share the spoils.
Sounds familiar.
I thought coming to the surface meant I would never have to face losing my sons to the darkspawn.
Sounds like you're none too fond of Iwan, Dira.
He's always been such a greedy thing, even as a boy.
Stop talking about my son like that.
He thinks he'll get rich quick off this expedition. He talked that fool Emrys and poor Merrin into going.
What about the other one, Merrin?
Merrin's a dear, sweet lad. Raised him myself since the day his mum died. He's the one who liked the stories best. He wanted to be a hero, though, not just rich. He craved adventure.
Adventure will get a dwarf killed. That boy needs to settle down and learn a trade. Play it safe.
Tell me about Emrys.
He's the oldest, but Iwan's been bossing him around since he learned to talk. Man's near 30 and has no backbone whatsoever.
His mother's death hit him hard, but he shouldn't be looking to his brothers for guidance.
Sure, I'll look. How many Darkspawn could have come back in 3 years anyway?
Thank you, Messer. Those boys are my life. They entered the deep roads using the same passage you did. Please find them. I will see you rewarded for your efforts.
Clothing of all kinds.
Come replace your old crap.
There are still many refugees that need help.
I see, Torelin.
Forgive me, Your Grace.
It is not enough to ask forgiveness for a sin you committed in full knowledge. The Maker blessed us with mine.
I thought it would end here. Young Master Hawk destroyed Flint Company, none remain. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
Hawk? We were just talking about you.
Saying good things, I hope.
Many people in Kirkwall have good things to say about you.
I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents' allies. It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
Tell me about this family.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johanne Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say. Lady Harriman was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
This is why the cycle of violence never gets broken.
You jest, but that's the truth. Give this up, Sebastian. Dedicate yourself to the Chantry as you swore.
I must speak with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
If I'm standing beside you, that should make her think twice.
Again, your interest in my plight humbles me. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry.
There's something to it.
It's like you haven't moved in 3 years.
It's easier for people to find me this way. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes, that turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
You can count on me.
Thanks. I appreciate it. If I learn anything new, you'll be the first to hear about it.
Why do you always win at cards?
Because I cheat, kitten. This trinket, it's elven, isn't it? From your clan. Don't bet anything you're not prepared to lose. Here, have it back. A jigger of your finest whiskey for my friend over here. The Hanged Man's finest isn't much, but it'll get you just as drunk as anything you'll find in Hightown.
And you'll wake up and find someone stolen your trousers.
That's when you know it's a party. I thought I'd have to watch myself around you, but as it turns out, you're all right.
What do you mean, I'm all right?
You don't judge people. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You know, little things like that. If I had someone like you on board my ship when the storm hit, maybe we wouldn't have been shipwrecked.
Maybe you would have been shipwrecked sooner. I'm a terrible sailor.
Are you? I suppose I'll have to keel haul you till you shape up.
So he comes down wearing nothing but his boots. We have a few drinks and everyone's laughing at him, but he doesn't care. He was naked.
I once knew a sailor like you. We lost him in a hurricane. Very sad.
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
No plans yet. I'm simply trying to look out for my mother.
After everything that happened with Bethany, that's probably good thinking. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
What would I do without my trusty dwarf? I'd cry myself to sleep without you.
Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me, Hawk. You know I can't stand to see a human cry. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
That man over there, he's been staring at me for an entire hour. I counted.
Maybe he likes you.
No, he knows. He knows that I know. But what he doesn't know is that I know. He knows that I know.
How do you know that he doesn't know that you know that he knows that you know you know?
Exactly.
This is the best tavern in Kirkwall. It could use some cute dwarven serving girls, but otherwise, it's perfect.
Have you heard from your sister? Is she settling in all right with the Circle?
I thought you and Bethany didn't get along. Why are you worrying over her?
I'd be terrified in her shoes. Surrounded by strangers. Watched all the time. We didn't always agree, but she's a sweet girl. I would never wish that fate on anyone.
Our mother checks on her frequently. She seems to be adjusting.
Maybe it's nice for her to finally live without hiding. She's strong. If anyone can get through this, she can. Don't blame yourself.
Someone's got to blame me. Other than my mother, I mean.
I'm sure your mother doesn't blame you. Things will be all right. Somehow. By the dread wolf! Why is my house always such a mess when people are here? It's clean sometimes, I swear.
Don't come running to me next time you pick up one of these diseases.
Isn't that the point of magic?
I don't want to know.
Things just keep getting worse. I had Templars practically on my doorstep the other night.
The Templars are hunting you?
Not me specifically. They were just checking the refugee camps. But it's not like this place is a secret. It's only a matter of time.
We haven't talked much recently. How have you been?
Good. I just love what Knight Commander Meredith's done with the place. The curfews. The midnight raids on mages' families. Everyone I know forced into hiding so they won't be made tranquil.
Justice must not know where to turn first.
In the Fade, there is no time. Emotion rules everything. Justice doesn't know how to sit idle until the right moment to strike. And I can't say I have any greater patience. I fear what my anger has made of my friend.
You chose to merge with him. Only you can make it work.
I am trying. I have not attacked the Templars openly. I've helped the mages here as best I can, but this impasse cannot last. Just being with me puts you at risk. The Knight Commander has declared supporting apostates a hanging offense. The thought of them hurting you, everything I've done to control this. I don't care. I would drown us in blood to keep you safe.
I don't want to see you lose yourself. To the Templars or justice.
How much is left if you strip both those out? The world needs to see men like you, who do not fear to stand openly at a mage's side.
It's been years since we arrived, but nothing's changed.
Outsiders think that...
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Daenerys. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Daenerys killed him. Either way, if Daenerys is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Don't tell me you're going to miss all the attention.
Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You take a breath and look around. And start anew.
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You don't know who you were?
Fenris was the name Daenerys bestowed upon me. His little wolf. If I once had another name or a family, then they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
I might be able to help with your problems. Or give you a few more.
Only a few?
It depends if I really work at it.
Tempting. You're a handsome man, Hawk. Is there no one else who has your attention?
I didn't quite catch that first part.
I don't need to repeat the obvious, I'm certain. I'm an escaped slave and an elf, living in a borrowed mansion. None of those things bother you.
Why do you think that would bother me?
You are not most people, clearly. You raise an interesting point. I'll have to consider it. Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Firmundis. Care to hear the story?
I thought you avoided talking about this.
Not on special occasions.
I enjoy listening to you talk.
And I enjoy a man willing to speak his mind. Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Daenerys during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
There's nothing like war for covering one's escape.
I had no intention of escaping. That time. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
He was relieved to see you'd survived, right?
Relieved to see his investment hadn't ended up in Qunari hands, perhaps. I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Why would you do such a thing?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
Couldn't you have found other fog warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Daenerys then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
I have to wonder why you stayed with Daenerys as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
How well did you know these fog warriors?
I knew them only a few months, but in that time, I felt as if I truly lived. They were bold, strong, free with their affection. I was in awe of them and owed them everything. I turned on them even so.
Didn't Daenerys stop you?
The rebels had wounded him. The soldiers he brought attempted to capture me, unsuccessfully. It was weeks before Daenerys was able to mount the hunt in earnest, but by then, I was already gone.
This can't be easy to talk about.
I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
It might mean more than that.
I have never allowed anyone too close. When my markings were created, the pain was extraordinary, and the memory lingers. But you are a man unlike any other Hawk. With you, it might be different.
We could find out.
On another evening, perhaps. A last toast, then. To the fallen.
Good day.
Oh, there's been so much trouble in Kirkwood.
You've settled in nicely.
It's just luck. And skill.
Indeed. Still, more coin never hurts, right? Say, if someone wanted to pass some work your way...
I'm listening, Aveline. What's the trouble?
A thorn in my side, inventing trouble and scaring people. Remember Emmerich, the Templar? He wants your help, and some sort of official sanction.
Official sanction?
For his investigation. He's convinced that every random murder in the past few years is connected, and he won't be quiet.
You don't think it's worth investigating?
I have. He even convinced one of my lieutenants to raid the Dupuis mansion. Nothing there. You wouldn't believe how much ass I had to kiss after that. Bloody hobbyist constable. Why can't he spend his declining years building a boat or something?
Seems like it should be easy to prove if there are bodies.
Kirkwall isn't the safest place. That doesn't mean everything terrible is related. There's no sense to that. Can't be.
I seem to recall he had some good leads.
Then you won't mind chasing his threads. If it leads somewhere, I'll pick it up. Right now, he's just distracting my men. He's in the gallows. Do what you can. Thanks, Hawk. I'll try not to make a habit of this.
Enchantment.
If you need any enchantments, I'm sure my boy would be happy to. Boom! Ah, there he goes again. How he makes these things, I'll never know.
I've never seen another dwarf like him. Does this run in your family?
Not at all, but Sandal isn't really my son. I found him in the deep roads when I left Orzammar for good. Raised him as my own now. Isn't that right, my boy?
I like Bodan.
He's always been this way. Always collecting things and enchanting them. Strange, I suppose.
Sandal's quite useful to have around.
That he is. Also, I've always said. Oh, Maker knows what'll happen when I'm gone. I try not to think about it.
I want some pie.
It's strange living here again. My childhood home. Now owned by my child. It's not something I could have imagined when I was a little girl staring out this window. I'm still grateful you used your money from the expedition to buy back the estate. I feel like an Amel again.
Just don't go all pompous on me, all right?
I promise. If there's one thing I learned in Ferelden, it's that good people can be born in a hut as easily as a palace. Honestly, after so many years as a peasant's wife, it feels strange to have nothing to do. I visited Bethany at the Circle, and she seems happy enough. I guess I just need to start finding you a suitable wife.
I hope all is well.
Is that supposed to be Andraste's face on your crotch?
What?
That belt buckle thing. Is that Andraste?
My father had this armor commissioned when I took my vows as a brother.
I'm just not sure I'd want the Maker seeing me shove his bride's head between my legs every morning.
That's strange. The door's wide open, and not a single guard posted. This is not the Lady Harriman I remember.
More! You lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, Monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness. I visited this house often as a child. They could not have concealed such goings-on.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
Odd. When we watched you being a drunken arse, you ignored us completely.
You shall not enter.
That's enough! My magic will destroy you! You wanna fight? Try me! Run while you can! Suck on the back!
This is much more exciting than the championship.
Demons, temptresses. We must see what greater evil they were protecting. A ruin, so close to Hightown. I remember no such thing. In the shadows, more of them!
Let's finish this! Get back! Is that all you got? Beat your ribs! Must finish this! Get back! Hold tight! I love when the plan works out. How about you? You're pathetic! Now you fall!
Wish to fight? Wish to fight?
Our cause is righteous! Got you! What a mess! Let's finish this! One less to worry about! Now you fall! That's enough! Victory! Is that all you got? How about you? The shadows! I can't I can't do that. How about you? Yeah!
Is that the best you can do?
Let's finish this! Destructive forces of nature coming up!
Andraste, forgive
Let's
me!
finish this!
May you find peace.
That's enough!
Interesting tactic. Now we shall see.
Running out of arrows!
Not going to happen.
Families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
At the Blooming Rose, 50 silver's standard for a whore.
You'll hardly find my services standard.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian!
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished. But it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
Not if it meant selling out my family.
How loyal were your friends to you? Everyone has a price. Everyone wants something.
Do not listen to her.
Oh, such a pious soul, masking so much ambition. Are you so different from my lady? You yearn for the same lands, the same power.
I am the rightful heir. She is a usurper and murderer.
You swore to put aside worldly goods and ambitions, but they couldn't stop you from wanting them.
I will hear no more from you!
Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul. Let us return to the Chantry. I must...
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it.
Right. It is demons who should be feared, not mages.
Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
Don't blame your mother. The Desire Demon made this happen.
I doubt many people will be so forgiving. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you.
Is there something you want, Anders?
You really don't have the temperament for a slave.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
I'm just wondering how your master didn't kill you.
How have the Templars not killed you?
I'm charming.
You... Don't find better prices.
Do you really need me along for this?
Hey, adventurer! Come replace your old crap.
There are still many refugees.
You should have lived in Tevinter. You'd be happier there.
You're probably right.
There, your magic would be a mark of honor. Apprentice to the right magister, you would do well.
Is there a downside?
Only if you're bothered by owning a few slaves and performing the occasional blood ritual.
So they all do those things?
Just the ones who don't complain about how powerless and persecuted they are.
Do not defy me! You messed with the wrong mate! Victory! Maker, give us strength! Looks like we made it.
I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch, but I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
You acted honorably. Why are you ashamed?
The demon didn't lie. I used to be bitterly jealous of my brother. I wanted to be prince. Now everything he had is mine. And he lies in ashes. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You seem very dedicated to the chantry. You were put there against your will.
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
It's the wisdom not to want power that lets you use it wisely.
You didn't feel what that demon stirred in me. It cannot be right to lead any army to Starkhaven with such doubt in my heart. I owe you more than I can say, Hawk. I will offer my service to you here before I move on.
Killing a few hundred more bandits ought to help you make up your mind.
You do have a unique way of working out your inner struggles, Hawk. Enough of this. I will make no decision today.
I think this is yours.
My grandfather's bow, but where did you get it?
One of the Flint Company men did some looting. I figured I'd return the favor.
Thank you. It's hard to mourn the loss of a thing while my family lies dead. But I did think of it.
What's the story behind that bow?
As the youngest son, it was my place to lead Starkhaven's militia. But I never had a talent for swordplay. Too much getting hit. My grandfather said the bow is the wise man's weapon. You can defend your city without opening its gates. Grandfather said the day I could pull the string on his bow, it would be mine.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13 when my grandfather made me that promise. I would rise at dawn to practice my shots until I could hit the eye slit of a helmet from the top of the ramparts. But my parents pledged me to the chantry before I could show him.
Were you and your grandfather close?
He was a man of the world, Prince of Starkhaven. But he had the most unshakable faith in the Maker. When my parents threatened to pledge me to the chantry, he told me he'd gladly trade his title for a life of contemplation. The Maker ordained a place for each of us, I remember him saying. We have only to serve.
I'm sorry I never got a chance to meet them, to save them.
I know. You're a true friend, Hawk. You brought me this to remember and honor them. But if I could bring back our lowest servant by snapping it in half, I'd do it without regrets.
desperately trying to stay away. But the giggling... and the perfume...
You've returned. May I say again how thankful I am you've allowed Sandor to remain? He seems very happy.
That's Mother's room. I shouldn't intrude.
I have a report you might find interesting. It tells of a chasm in the Vinmark Mountains, and a secret that was said to be buried within. Yet when the Chantry went to investigate, they were turned away by the Grey Wardens.
And why would I find that interesting?
Because the champion was there. I can't help but notice you failed to mention this adventure.
Oh, that? I didn't think you'd be interested. Just some business with Hawk's family. A few Carter dwarves who went too far. You're not going to believe me.
I'll take my chances.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you. There it is.
That's where these dwarves are?
These are Carter dwarves, so they're more criminals and smugglers than anything else. They're not usually stupid, though. I don't know why they'd attack you.
They snuck into the gallows. If there hadn't been Templars to stop them.
Don't feel left out. They've been trying to kill me for several days now.
You have a plan, then? I found their hideout, but my sources couldn't tell me anything else. It's all very strange.
Why do you say that? It's just the Carter, isn't it?
As far as my contacts in the Carter know, they shouldn't be here. There shouldn't even be a here. This place is invisible. A big blind spot on the map. Bianca's never been this suspicious, and she's twitchy to start with.
Does it matter? We just need them to stop trying to kill us.
A fine point. So, what's the plan?
Oh, I'm sure this is all a misunderstanding. Later we'll all have tea and we'll laugh.
Oh, your name is Hawk. I thought it was Locke.
I can't believe you two are joking about this.
Don't worry, Sunshine. The laughter just hides the pain.
Whatever happens, they won't get a chance to attack again.
At least the Circle let me come. I didn't want you to do this alone.
Let's go. Someone doesn't like intruders.
They're from the Merchants Guild. The Carter doesn't kill guild members. That's really strange.
It's the Hawk!
Listen.
Look! The Carter has people watching us.
They'll alert others to our presence.
The time has come!
Can you hear that? We'd best be careful.
You, the brother and sister both, you're here together. You've come!
Is he referring to you and me?
Everyone! It's the children of Malcolm Hawke! They've come to us!
What does my father have to do with this?
It began with him, and ends with you. Blood for blood, that's what we were told.
Did Father do something to the Carter?
You've come to us now, and that's the only thing that matters.
You tell me! How could I refuse such a delightfully worded invitation?
We must have the blood! You don't understand.
Oh, blood. Why didn't you just ask?
We will take it. Corypheus will walk in the sun once more.
You wanna fight? Try me!
Let's do this!
Get back!
Line them up! I'll take them down! Somebody order a shot in the face?
That'll teach you.
Better luck in the next line!
You're pathetic!
How many of you got, Hawk?
Is that all you got? Good, keep this up!
I can finish this.
I'll deal with this!
I'm not hiding anymore.
How about you? There!
Not the brightest thing you could have done. Bianca's getting low. Bianca, you minx! That was beautiful!
Did you hear that? They're after us. For our blood. But why?
Crazy people like blood. A lot.
Clearly these dwarves are insane. Perhaps even more so than Varric. I heard that.
The Carter doesn't normally act like this. They're businessmen.
I'd like to know who this Corypheus is. With a name like that, he's bound to go mwahaha at some point, I just know it. And really? More blood? Why can't it ever be spit or a lock of hair?
You really want to encounter a spit mage?
For variety, sure.
That should do it.
Will you look at that?
A fortress? Here in the middle of nowhere?
Everyone stay still and try not to make any loud noises.
Mother seemed happier. A few years' distance from all that loss. It's a good thing. She must worry with both of us in a place like this. She was so adamant I not go last time.
And look what happened.
I'd have gone to the circle eventually. Perhaps not so gently. Better or worse. It is what it is.
Thank you for asking me to come along again.
Why wouldn't I? More the merrier.
I just am pleased to see you. That's all.
Smooth.
I'm surprised you agreed to come, Varric. You hate being underground, and you avoid the Carter the same way you do the Merchant Guild.
There's no way I'd miss watching you make these motherless
How is it you get into these situations so often?
What do you mean? Is that all you got?
By dwarves, approached by strangers, stumbling from ancient riddles? Madness.
It's a gift.
Well, I think you should return it.
Cartist!
Watch out!
You regret this,
Your mistake.
How about you? Go! Go!
Another one for me? How many of you got, Hawk?
You wanna fight? Try me!
This isn't going so well.
What's got hold of me?
Is that all you got?
That's a lot of blood.
So, Varric, this spy network of yours...
Oh, this I have to hear.
You don't have one, do you? You make it all up.
Could be. That or a Kelvin urge.
You are a strange, hairy
I could do this in
Let's finish this!
Remind me never to get on our bad side. Seems to be unhealthy.
That's a lot of dead people.
When you tell people about our escape from Lothering, why do you make it sound like I had food all over my face?
You're larger than life, Hawk. I had to give you a few flaws just to make you approachable.
Did you just call me fat?
Yes, that's pretty much how I tell it. Hawk rolled into the fray like a gigantic pudding covered in gravy. It's more dramatic that way.
Does it have to be gravy? Couldn't it be chocolate instead?
Everyone's a critic.
Dwarves can't use magic, blood, or otherwise. And what's this got to do with Father?
The Master, Corypheus. Clearly, these dwarves have found a demon to worship. But why would it seek your blood?
I guess we only get that answer from Corypheus.
Radigan says I can go into the...
You're pathetic!
Your mistake.
You'll have to be faster than that! That's enough out of you! Better luck in the next life!
Why does the Master want this, Hawk?
Is that all you got? Is that all you got?
Let's finish this!
Bianca's getting lonely. Bianca, you think? That was beautiful!
Go down!
I always wanted to try this. Do not hide anymore.
Get
Your
back!
mistake.
The Hawk's blood. The Master will rise. He will be free.
Garav?
Varric? No one told me you would be part of this. We were just going after the Hawk.
Why has the Carter been attacking me?
I can't say. The Master must be free.
Really, Garav? I thought better of you than this. I mean, gutting the occasional competitor for fun and profit, that's the game. But what are you all even doing here? Worshipping demons?
We drink the Darkspawn blood. He calls us.
Why would you do that? Won't you just die?
It's the only way to hear the music.
Oh, come on, you nug licker. Snap out of it. There's no gold in hallucinating.
An acquaintance of yours, Varric?
Hawk, this is Garav. He's a greedy, brilliant bastard son of a nug from the Carter. Garav, this is Hawk. The one whose blood you want to drink, or bathe in, or whatever. But I got to warn you, you catch diseases that way.
The Master is calling. He needs the blood.
Garav, buddy, this isn't like you. Look, I've still got Bianca. Never misfired a day in her life. You don't want her to see her papa like this, do you?
Varric, you want to spare this bastard?
Not if he's after you, Hawk. Bianca, I think it's time to say goodbye.
Reinforcements, you bastard!
Let's do this!
You poor, stupid bastard. I used to do business with the Carta, back in the day. Garav was a nutcase then too, but in a good way. He was trying to design a new type of repeating crossbow. Bianca was the only one that ever worked. I can't believe he ended up like that.
Doc, they told me you were going to be trouble. And look, you brought the whole family. How generous. I swore to Corypheus we'd bring him Malcolm Hawk's blood, one way or the other.
What does this have to do with my father?
The Master wants you. I don't ask why.
So it's Corypheus who's after me?
What Corypheus wants, Corypheus gets. From us, or from someone.
Corypheus wants some blood? Sure, let me just open a vein. How about a kidney, too?
Corypheus, we have done as you command. Your sacrifice is here. You will see the surface once more.
Wish to fight?
That's enough!
I always wanted to try this.
Now we shall see. I'll make this quick.
What is this? I can feel it inside me.
Oh, that is a strange one. They don't have one of those in the Circle. And it was Father's.
This is going to take me to Corypheus.